Tobias Gable, dominant, as you were saying. He is certainly going to try to win this championship, and if he doesn't, it's not from lack of trying, that is to say the least. Vishen Vong behind him in second for the GT2s. Leon Plum taking first in the GT3s with Dario Ingrosso. Not able to best him, but just a couple tenths separating those two as well. Leon Olukoju in fifth, Stuart Pryor sixth, and Nils Baltus without a lap in seventh.
Yeah, this is going to be fascinating now. So let's just remember, people watching at home, penultimate round of the championship, yes, tick, that's where we are. Nils Baltus comes into this one, 111 points, championship leader, 2 victories and a second place, on a run of 2 consecutive victories. But the gap between himself and Tobias Gable, just 17 points. Tobias is on pole, Baltus is 7th and last, with not the small task of a few cars between himself in a jeopardy-heavy racetrack. This could be a massive pendulum in the favour of Tobias Gable, Mike. But, and we say this so many times, and it always rings true, qualifying's one thing, racing is an entirely different proposition altogether.
It is, but Stuart Pryor and Nils Baltus, in my opinion, have set themselves up for a very tough lap one. They're behind the GT3s, which isn't much of an issue in theory, but in practice, we see these S's right here. This is Sector 1. These are what the drivers have to contend with first, and we know the GT2s are going to be a little less strong. So we're going to see some bottlenecking from Tobias Gable, Vishen Wong. Leon Plum is going to be pushing the GT2s, which is going to concertina them up, and then the GT3s are going to be caught up. Vice versa. I'm very interested to see how this is going to play out, because the GT3s are sort of in a sandwich right now of the quote-unquote faster category. But again, it's one thing to say faster in practice, it's another thing to say faster in execution. And as we get ready to head down to the track here, it's going to be a short outlap for them, so it's going to be down to getting as much heat into those tires and in those brakes so you can brake as late as possible into Big Red, and hopefully, well, we don't see anyone going bowling.
Right then, folks, there are a few things that it's worth keeping your beady eye out for at the start of this race. Nils Baltus, that we've spoken about, championship leader in GT2, starting in last position. Leon Plum, having a rich vein of form, it has to be said, over the last couple of weeks in Magic Mondays, starting in pole, 3rd overall in GT3. Leon will be more than a little bit enthusiastic about, hopefully for him, taking a race victory in that category, which will be, potentially, is going for his 2nd consecutive GT3 race victory. They're drivers to keep an eye on. But again, Mike, plans, battle, plan, dustbin. That's exactly what happens at race 1, lap 1 encounters, isn't it? Survival, awareness of those around you. Don't get greedy into T1 because it invites a shunt. Survive this first lap.
Discretion needs to be the better part of valor. And I do just want to, before we get on into it here tonight, take a little warm welcome to everyone joining us here in chat. I see we have, well, everyone from before here. We have James Yexley in chat. We got Lady Loki. We have Tobias Gable. We have Vin Zarini, I think is how you say that. Hormel joining us for the first time, as well as Dave, Scientist Monkey says, Remco Ottens, Leon the Plum, and Tobias Gable so far in chat. A big warm welcome to all of you guys and gals joining us. We had a couple followers as well. Mustang King, as well as 1910 Aliaizondo. And if you guys are interested as well, we do host races here besides Magic Mondays, and there's still one round left in Magic Mondays. If you do want to sign up for this one, it is still available over on our SimGrid or in our Discord, !Discord, for more information. Also coming up, the Zella F4 series. Wow, we've had quite a few signups for that one just overnight. 23 currently. There's still loads of slots available, though. That's March 27th on the iRacing platform, the Zella F4 Season 4. Definitely want to sign up for that one, but that's in the future. Let's talk the present, and let's talk the track now. Tobias Gable leads us into the final corner with Vishen Vong alongside. Leon Plum on pole position with Dario Ingrosso in the GT3s. It's going to be a bit of a jaunt here before we get to the line, and the green flag will wave. The nerves at their all-time highest. Going to be a long sprint up towards Big Red. In the calm before the storm, as the green flag gets ready And we go green, 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 racing here for round 4 of COTA Magic Mondays. And look at the start from the GT2s. Absolute rocket ships. Round the outside goes Dario Ingrosso in the Ferrari. 2 cars missing their braking zone there. That's going to be Stuart Pryor and Leon Olukoju. Everyone making it through without too much dramas. Leon Plum gaining quite a bit here early as well, but it's Tobias Gable leading the pack, Vishen Vong behind, and Dario Ingrosso in third.
While our race leaders were sorting themselves, what a start from Baltus. Massive risk. Up the inside into T1. He clouted the curb as well for good measure, so that could have fallen very foul indeed. But Nils Baltus in absolutely no mood to hang around whatsoever. Already up in a 4th position. Dario Ingrosso, the leader of a GT3 category, is the car in front. And we're looking at this little squabble. Leon Plum started on pole in GT3, lost a couple of places, and almost Leon Olukoju behind loses that AMG Mercedes. But that fight is boiling. And look at Baltus, Mike, making a move for 3rd, and he's going to make his way back to make it a trio of GT2s.
Yeah, the Ferrari might be fast in a straight line, but it is not fast enough. The Audi GT2 is one of the fastest cars in ACC. It's up there at least. Leon Plum not able to contend here as he's under threat now from behind as well. Stuart Pryor in the Maserati, a little bit slower of a GT2 car, but still not slow. Through the apex though, not quite looking the most tidy, and Stuart using all of the track. He paid for it, so I guess why not? This is more moves. Nils Baltus is in an absolute hurry. He may not have been able to set a lap in qualifying, but my goodness, he is absolutely pushing it in race pace. But now, feeling the pressure, this goes to show you those advantages and disadvantages. The GT3s, quicker in the nimble stuff, but as we get onto the start-finish straight, Nils Baltus is about to disappear. Oh my.
Look at that though. Dario Ingrosso making an overtake like his socks are on fire. Absolutely fantastic stuff for Dario. I do feel though that is going to be all for absolutely nothing. And there we go, right on cue. Nils Baltus retakes that position courtesy of a better exit through the final corner. And Baltus can ill afford to play for too long, shall we say, with the GT3 Ferrari, because he's got a small job of finding a way past Vishen Vong ahead, and also evidently, Tobias Gable was going to be a little bit more difficult at the head of the pack. But so far, so good for Nils Baltus. He's been that quick that the ACC timing screen on his window hasn't even caught up yet. It still says 4th position. Absolutely mesmeric start to this race for Baltus.
Dario Ingrosso, though, I have to give him some credit here. He's really trying to put the fight where the fight necessarily isn't. And, you know, there's nothing to gain, in theory, for Dario Ingrosso. In fact, there's only loss to really be had just getting tangled up in an incident. So, really risking it. Nils Baltus, though, down to the inside of turn 11, going for the move on to the 91, and really not much of a fight to be had. Vishen Vong, he knows that the writing was on the walls there and says, maybe I could just use that toe, that slipstream, and crucial helping hand here to stay on to the back of Baltus, and potentially when he catches up with Tobias Gable, that'll give him a fighting chance to battle for the lead as well. Stuart Pryor is the only real GT2 that hasn't quite been able to contend here with that GT3 traffic just yet. It seems that Maserati is just not able to contend with these GT3s, unfortunately.
Yeah, the Maserati's a slightly more difficult car to drive in GT2, it has to be said. And Stuart doing a good job so far, but a little bit further away. Wong makes a mistake just at the back of your shot as well. And we've seen this from Vishen Vong all season long. He's a quick driver when he can piece it all together. But sadly, the piecing it together aspect has been a little bit difficult. So Wong, he'll be hoping to keep a nice clean run, see if he can learn a little bit of something from Nils Baltus while gapping that man, Dario Ingrosso, that we're looking at there, leading our GT3 class 4th overall in the timing screens, but crucially, very crucially indeed, coming under a little bit of pressure from Leon Plum. So Leon has managed to stem the flow of places at the start of this race. Now he's holding firm in 5th position overall. But I do think that Leon perhaps can unlock some pace in that car and make a bit of a squabble of it at the head of the pack. Ingrosso will be aware of this one. He'll be saving tyres, trying to eke out that gap as much as possible. But we'll keep our eyes on this one because this one's got all the hallmarks, Mike, of a fight that's going to get increasingly high tempo. The clock continues to tick down.
Yeah, it certainly does. And, you know, Leon the Plum, in my opinion here, I think he's sort of turned a new leaf as of recently. He had a pretty good season last time around in the GT Evolution Season 2. He finished second in the championship. However, he had a couple races, Laguna Seca, Monza, not quite to the best of his abilities at the end of the day. He knows he had more and really showing it out there on track now. So big shout out here to Leon for doing such a good job. This is that start. Keep an eye on this Audi, folks. Just look to the left of the screen in the marbles because we are about to see a slingshot and a half literally shot out of a cannon down into the first corner and made a 3-for-1 overtake. There was a little clattering in the background which really secured the position for Baltus, but that was a lick the stamp and send it moment. Oh my goodness, didn't quite catch that on the opening lap. Just no harm, no foul, but a little bit of bumping and banging as well.
Yes, Olakoju and Plum, respectively, were rather fortunate. I think it has to be said that that one didn't turn into a bigger incident than it eventually did. And Olakoju, look at that one, in the gold AMG Mercedes. Again, very enthusiastic on the pedal on the right-hand side that makes it go loud, makes it go fast. But in corners, also makes it go sideways. So Leon maybe needs to temper some of that enthusiasm in the final 13 minutes and 38 seconds of this race if he wants to get in contention with Leon Plum. And that's the silver and purple Ferrari that we see just ahead of us. There we go, right on cue. Thank you very much to our producer, Tom Bryant, who's bringing you these wonderful pictures that Mr. Mike Noss and myself, Paul Jeffrey, are commentating over today for the Williams Gaming Club on the Williams Sim Racing Twitch channel. Big hello to you all. This is the first of 3 races today, and that is a move for position. Thank you very much, Leon Olakoju. That's how you do it, and that's how you get it back, says Leon Plum.
Or is it? Leon, though, is going to have to fight around the outside. It's going to turn to the inside, then the outside, then the inside. It doesn't matter, though, because my goodness, the AMG, aggressive as ever. Leon Olakoju running his opponent fully out of room there. Was that legal? I don't know. We'll let the stewards decide on that one. Leon, though, they're both Leons. It's a battle to see who the superior Leon is right now. Olakoju ahead for the moment, but I do sense that Plum here is going to be fixing a move out of turn 11. Oh, but you got to be careful here. That is one of the most crucial setup corners as we go down the hill now. He's going to be a little too far back. In fact, he's under threat from behind. Stuart Pryor, welcome to this conversation now as he gets a slingshot onto the back straight. Now 3/4 of a mile of flat-out action. Let's see. Does the Maserati have the legs to get by the Cavallina Rampanti? I think the answer here, Paul, is yes.
Yeah, very workmanlike manoeuvre from Stuart Pryor there, just taking advantage of the benefits of the car underneath him. And I think Stuart be a little bit frustrated. It has to be said that he's not cleared this GT3 gaggle quite as quickly as the likes of Nils Beltus, for example, have done over the last few laps. But Stuart now starting to make inroads to the cars ahead. And as we've spoken about before, different classes of car in one race means that they're invisible to each other in terms of championship points, but it's also about the race result. It's also about the here and now and the opportunity to move forward. So Stuart Pryor inserts himself into the battle. Leon Plum drops down into 7th position, 3rd place overall in class. And for good measure, Leon will be frustrated. He doesn't want to see that Maserati in between himself and Olakoju ahead. He's got a fight to fight, but that's for championship points in category. So this is going to be crucial. Does Pryor make his way past the AMG, or can Plum get back in contention with that gold vehicle ahead?
Olakoju doesn't look like they want to fight this too hard, or is that because they know the Maserati isn't going for the move, and it looks like it was, in fact, the latter? Well, a little bump on the rump there, no harm, no foul, or is that going to give Leon Plum a chance? No. Stuart Pryor able just to shove Leon Olakoju long enough to not lose too much time, but look at those alternate lines that we see. The AMG taking much more sweeping approaches into the corner, and Stuart here and leaving a little bit on the table. So we'll see, again, if that's going to play any roles throughout it, but he definitely, like you were saying, does not want to get passed by Stuart Pryor, because not only does that put a buffer between him and Dario Ingrosso, it also means that Leon Plum is going to be free to do whatever he would like with Leon Olakoju instead. Now, down into turn 11. I don't think we're going to be seeing a move here. Okay, we are going to be seeing a dive bomb and a half. Oh, goodness, hold your brakes. No. Oh, it's his best Sum 41 impression as Leon Olakoju gets slammed into by a horse-sized shaped missile.
I think it's fair to say that that was a little bit fruity from Leon Plum, and he recognised that he made a mistake, got on the brakes and gave that position back to Olakoju. Good news for those two, if there is any good news can be had from a shunt, is that's taken a slightly struggling Stuart Pryor completely out of the equation, as Stuart off on his merry way and leaving Olakoju and Plum to fight amongst themselves. Speaking of fighting amongst themselves, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, a round of applause if you will for Nils Baltus. Started in last position, carved like a hot knife through butter on the opening few laps, and look now, the rear diffuser of that KTM is painted very much like a GT2 Audi. Baltus is absolutely on a charge for the race lead.
And Baltus, all he really has to do here, a little deep, he's trying to set his exit up through the final corner. I don't really like that too much here. He just has to hold on till turn 11. Really, that's all he has to do. Is this Audi is so rapidly quick in a straight line that the KTM has absolutely no chance of out drag racing it, especially with a slipstream. So just wait through the S's, make sure you stay nice and close, and then get the job done through the easy free pass. This is not as easy of a job, though. Dario Ingrosso behind Vishen Vong, and looks like he's getting a little bit held up by this. Stuart Pryor behind 5 seconds. I don't think they're going to be catching up any time, but Dario Ingrosso doesn't want to mess around and find out necessarily.
Yep, difficult position for Ingrosso to find himself in. He wants that third place, he wants the bottom step of the podium, but crucially, Wong is reverting to form and making a few crucial mistakes that's overall hindering his race progress. And despite the faster class of car, he's overall lapping this race a little bit slower, and that puts Dario Ingrosso in a bit of a pickle because he wants to make his way past to improve his overall delta to the flag. But obviously there's no value in this fight, and if indeed it becomes a fight, it actually becomes a net negative for both drivers. So Ingrosso needs to be quite strategic and intelligent about how he's going to make the move. And look at Stuart Pryor. We spoke about how he was struggling. Well, he's in the same camera shot on that one. So Vishen Vong not necessarily comfortable yet in GT2.
Now the gap's coming down. It's now 4.3 seconds, which means that clearly Vishen Vong is slower than Stuart Pryor, and Dario Ingrosso, as a result, is as well. He wants to change that sooner rather than later through the triple apex. He's a bit deep, though. Losing time in the slow speed. He has to be close. He has to be ready to make a almost overly aggressive send to get by, because the problem, again, is the fact that the GT2s are quicker in a straight line. His easiest chance of using a straight to overtake is really not an option with GT3 versus GT2. They're just two different manufacturers, and while yes, this battle is technically pointless for points in terms of who's going to change what, I think this is more for the pride at this stage. And for Dario Ingrosso, he just wants to pass the GT2. I think that's pretty much all he wants right now.
Oh man, imagine being a GT3 driver, taking the victory in class, and you can say you've beaten home more than one GT2 as well. It's absolutely what Dario Ingrosso would love to achieve. 6 minutes and 44 seconds left on the clock. A very interesting line through T1 for the KTM, and that's a couple more yards of advantage for the Ferrari. Little benefit. Apply the pressure, hope that Vishen Vong will drop the car or make a mistake and open the door. But for Dario Ingrosso, definitely, he'll be glad of the fight. It's added a bit of interest to his particular race because he's well clear of Leon Olakoju now. And Nils Baltus, what's that we're looking at here? What's happened to Baltus? That gap looked quite a bit bigger than last time we checked in to our two race leaders.
It certainly does. 1.5 seconds now, and heading on to the back straight, he is nowhere close enough to be making a move. I wonder if the tires are falling off or something along those lines. The Audi shouldn't be that much slower. Again, in theory, through the corners, it should be just that much quicker in a straight line for the most part, but I guess this goes to show you those different advantages. Here we go again between the Ferrari and the KTM. Thought about a move very early, but as soon as he pulled out of the slipstream and all of that air came bellowing down on the front end of that Ferrari, there was absolutely no shot. All that momentum pretty much thrown away.
Oh man, as a driver, this is a living nightmare. To be faster overall but slower in all the important bits is just the worst scenario that one can find themselves in. And what that tends to generate is the slightly riskier overtakes, the slightly more send it and hope passive manoeuvres, because that's literally, you're running out of tools in the armoury if you're Dario Ingrosso, and that's basically where we're going. If you want to make this move, you've got to take a lot of risk. But look how much quicker the Ferrari is now through the penultimate couple of corners. Into that last turn, very aggressive. Wong makes a mistake. Now the final turn, in fact. I was one corner too early, and I think the KTM, there we go, door left wide open. Dario Ingrosso, beautiful move, Mike, but he's going to be deeply vulnerable for the very steep run up to T1.
I don't like the weaving. I think Dario Ingrosso should have picked the inside line and stuck with it there. He lost too much momentum doing the left to right. Down to the inside. Okay, very hesitant overtake from Wong. He had that pretty much done and dusted if he went on the brakes late enough, but he just wanted to play it safe. He didn't want to risk a collision and end up getting a penalty, losing out on crucial points. Respect, to be honest. They're very discretion being the better part of valor once more there for Wong. Is that going to be sort of a bit of an issue for him though now? Well, actually no, it looks like the issue for him is just trying to keep the car facing the correct direction. This traction looks to be optional for Wong.
Yeah, definitely struggling, not so comfortable in the final 4 minutes of this race, but for Wong, great drive. Today, it's been one of the better drives that we've seen in Magic Mondays. He's had a great season thus far, third in the championship, had a podium at the second round of the series, fourth last time around, and Wong doing good stuff to improve incrementally race on race, and I definitely think fourth overall and third in class will be a result he's more than happy with come the checkered flag. Should, big word should, means a lot of things. Should things stay as they are before the checkered flag, Nils Baltus has precisely zero desire for things to stay as they are before the checkered flag. He's on the charge again, closing back up to Tobias Gable in GT2.
Time not his friend though. 3 minutes left and we're down to the final 2 laps at this stage, and really needs to get it done sooner rather than later if you're Nils Baltus. Wanted to bring up in chat, we also have a couple new chatters. We have Vin, who's been here for a while apparently, but now is joining the chat. They are in the Spring Cup BMW Silver class and really enjoy the streams and also the racing. So thank you very much for joining us, Vin, and thank you so much for the kind words as well. It genuinely means an absolute ton to us. As well as Gamer Infinity, welcome, and a fun fact from our producer, Tom Bryant. Now, Paul, do you know what the first? I think you do. I think I've done this one before. We got to get some new fun facts every now and then. Do you know what the first race was here?
Bum bum bum. Pray tell, sir. The first race was, drum roll, please.
It was right before the Formula One race. It was a Ferrari Challenge event held in November of 2012. And again, just right before that, so the first ever event held here was the Ferrari Challenge in 2012. And we saw that pretty much today, 2 challenging Ferraris between Dario Ingrosso and Leon Plum. Since then, well, what happened to Leon Plum is not the greatest, unfortunately. He has not had the best day in the second half of this race, has he, Paul?
No, it's a real shame for Leon. 25, nearly 26 seconds adrift of the race lead. Last time around, over a second in arrears from Olakoju ahead. So, not quite sure where the pace has gone for Leon Plum, but I'll definitely be a very disappointed driver. Having started this one third on pole position in class and possibly even with aspirations of an overall podium, I don't think that Leon will be a little bit frustrated, but we've seen Leon racing in other classes of Magic Mondays, so he won't have long at the checkered flag to dust himself down and get going again.
We have, while we were trying to sing the praises here of Leon, either one of the Leons, it was a bit of Leon see, Leon do, because Leon Olakoju picked up a drive-through penalty, and then Leon Plum said, oh, wow, I think that is a great idea for you running wide through one of the corners. I'm going to run wide through the exact same corner and pick up a drive-through penalty myself. The 2 Leons, again, what can you say? When they're trying to battle to see who the superior Leon is, they just end up even every time.
Much as I am greatly fond of both Leons, to get a drive-through penalty in a 20-minute race is deeply impressive in not a good way. So yes, Olakoju and Leon Plum will probably not serve that drive-through penalty, and that will be turned into a post-race penalisation. But again, 6th and 7th, penultimate to last and last position in the race, it isn't going to make a difference to their overall race results. But I think maybe in the fullness of time, with a refreshing libation down your neck, come race conclusion, you might be a bit frustrated to have fallen foul of that one so keenly in such a short event.
Leon Plum actually taking his drive-through. Olakoju listened to you. He's like, I'll just take the 30-second penalty. I don't really care. Plum, now he went into the lane. He's going to serve it like a true racer. And while that's going on, Tobias Gable here has been leading every single lap from the word go. Nils Baltus, give this man some credit. He made 3 overtakes in 1 corner, then he carved his way through the rest of the field to the back of TG, and this is going to be his chance. Tobias Gable clatters the curb there on through turn 11. This is going to be Nils Baltus seeing a little bit of light right now, but is it going to be at the end of the tunnel, or is it false hope? All the way down 3/4 of a mile into turn 12. Little too far back for Nils Baltus, but there's still sector 3. We have the horseshoe and a triple apex to go. Tobias Gable, he's going to be sweating. Nils Baltus, can he get this done? TG, he looks weak. He's wide. Every corner, you almost wonder if he's driving in his rearview mirrors right now. Through the horseshoe, he's deep. Into the triple apex. This is going to be potential advantage for Baltus. Is he going to send it to the inside? No, he's going to wait through the penultimate corner and into the final corner of this track. Through turn 20 is going to be the last opportunity for Nils Baltus. Can he get it sealed up in time? Through the penultimate, down the back stretch, and heading into the braking zone. Nils Baltus is not going to see the door open, but does Tobias Gable keep it on circuit? Yes, he does. Plants it. It's going to be a near photo finish, but Tobias Gable just takes it.
Oh, I did think that Tobias Gable had almost thrown it away at the very, very death. That's a great finish for our GT2s. Back down to GT3. Daniel Ingrosso will cross the line in that podium spot overall. 3rd position overall, 1st in GT3. That's an outstanding drive from the Italian driver. Leon Olakoju crosses the line in 6th, but I think Leon Plum has pulled an absolute masterstroke, Mike. I can't be certain of this one, but I think the time loss for serving the DT will be less than for completing the race. So Leon Plum may have just pulled a strategic masterstroke and snuck another class point. Very nicely done.
I actually don't think he did. I think Olakoju... Or, wait, who are we? Again, we're talking about 2 Leons here, which is even more confusing. Olakoju finished 33 seconds ahead of Leon Plum, according to my timing charts. So they're still going, actually, but they're currently 34 seconds separating the two, meaning that I think just, as they cross the line there, it is going to be Leon Olakoju that does get away with it despite not taking that penalty. Very interesting, and that's just going to be a stolen point at the end. So, I mean, hey, Leon Plum, you got to give him credit for trying. He wouldn't have got the point either way, but close enough.